14-year-old boy, jailed for 18 years. He was only 14 years old. Just a boy, still in middle school. But in the eyes of the justice system, Isaiah Brown was not a child. He was a criminal. Isaiah was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. He grew up in a working-class neighborhood, where his mother, Denise, worked long hours as a nurse's aide. His father had left when Isaiah was just 8 years old. So Isaiah helped raise his little sister, Layla. He walked her to school every morning before heading to basketball practice. Basketball was his world. Isaiah spent hours on cracked neighborhood courts, dreaming of making his high school team, maybe even earning a college scholarship. His bedroom walls were covered with posters of Allen Iverson and Kobe Bryant. Teachers called him quiet but respectful. Friends said he was a kid who always smiled. But Detroit wasn't easy. Violence was everywhere, and police often treated young black boys like suspects before they even did anything wrong. His mom always warned him, "Keep your head down. Don't give them a reason." On a September evening in 2001, Isaiah had just finished a late pickup game and was walking home in his hoodie. At the same time, just a few blocks away, a shooting broke out outside a corner store. A man was killed. Panic spread. The community wanted answers. The police wanted someone to blame. And within hours, they had their suspect. Not because of evidence, not because of solid witnesses, but because Isaiah, a 14-year-old boy, happened to be in the area walking home from basketball. The officers dragged him into an interrogation room. No lawyer, no parent, just a scared child against trained detectives. They questioned him for hours. Isaiah begged to go home. He cried. He told them over and over, "I didn't do it." But they didn't listen. They told him if he confessed, he could leave. And after hours of pressure, Isaiah broke, terrified and exhausted. He said the words they wanted to hear, a false confession. Those words became the centerpiece of the case against him. There was no DNA, no fingerprints, no weapon tying him to the crime. Nothing but the forced confession of a 14-year-old child. But the prosecution painted him as a cold-blooded killer. The jury believed them. The verdict, guilty. At just 15 years old, Isaiah was sentenced to life in prison. He was sent to a maximum security prison built for grown men. Imagine being a child surrounded by murderers, rapists, hardened criminals. Imagine growing up in a cage instead of classroom. For 18 years, Isaiah's childhood and teenage years were stolen. He never went to prom, never graduated high school, never had his first love. He never watched cartoons with his little cousins. He missed birthdays, holidays, and his sister's graduation. His mother died while he was locked away. She never got to see her son free. At home, every family photo had an empty space where Isaiah should have been. And still, every single day, Isaiah said the same words. "I didn't do this. I was just a kid." Finally, nearly 2 decades later, the truth came out. Witnesses admitted they had been pressured. His so-called confession was proven false, and new evidence revealed the identity of the real shooter, someone Isaiah had never even met. Isaiah Brown walked out of prison after 18 years, but he didn't walk out the same boy who went in. He was now a grown man who had lost his childhood, his teenage years, and the life he should have had. How do you rebuild after that? How do you forgive a system that stole your youth? Isaiah's story is heartbreaking, but it is not rare across the United States. Hundreds of children have been wrongfully convicted. Children as young as 13, treated as adults, interrogated without protection, and locked away for decades. They are children until the system decides they're criminals. Justice delayed is justice denied. And for Isaiah, justice came 18 years too late. So I'll ask you, should children ever be interrogated without a lawyer or their parents by their side? If the story touched you, share it. Let the world see what happens when innocence is ignored, because silence only protects the broken system.